Good evening. I would invite those, as they are able, to stand for the Mayor and members of Council.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural meeting of the 2018 to 2022 Kitchener City Council. I'll ask you to continue standing as we join in the singing of O Canada by the Queen Helena Canadian-Croatian Cultural and Charitable Societies, the Voce del Sur Spanish Children's Choir, the Grand River Chinese School, and the Ubuntu Kids Club. If I can invite everyone to take their seats, please. I'd like to thank the members of the four groups for joining us this evening. We asked these various groups to come together because it is a reflection of the diversity that we share here in our community. And it was important that tonight's celebration also reflects some of that diversity. In that spirit, I'd also like to begin this evening's session with an we make this land recognize we know reflection. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. We are gathered together tonight to celebrate the beginning of a second term for Mayor Jaworski, and I thank you for inviting me to speak good words to bring our minds together in a good way for this important new beginning. Our Haudenosaunee friends and neighbors on whose territory we are living say that at any gathering of more than 3 people, we must say a Thanksgiving. And this Thanksgiving is to remind us of what's really important in life. And it prepares us to work together in a good way and a healing way. So I'd like to do that tonight for this very special occasion. Bujo, Sego, Wache, Scano. Mino Pamatsi Aki Dejnakaz. Ikanak Dodam, Wawash Kasheo Gitchita. Natasana Nunutsi Avut Dunjiba. Chimegwech, Ijamanado. Creator, we give thanks for all of life, earth, air, fire, and water. Without these, we will cease to exist, and for these we give thanks. To our first mother, the earth, who gives us life and nourishes and nurtures us throughout all of our days. To her we give thanks. To our grandfather, the sun, who comes each day bringing that light, warmth, and energy that sustains us, we give thanks. To our grandmother, the moon, who governs the waters that are the lifeblood of our Mother Earth and that flows within us. To her we give thanks. To the sky people, the stars that guide us in the darkness and remind us of the glory and immensity of creation, to them we give thanks. To all of our relations on the earth, the stone people, the green ones, the swimmers, the crawlers, the flyers, the four-leggeds, and the two-leggeds. All are relatives. We give thanks. We acknowledge that we have only begun to name the many blessings that we have been given. Chimegwech, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Becker, for that reflection. I'd now like to move to the first of 2 invocations. The first one will be given by Mina Wasim, a student at Cameron Heights Collegiate Institute, and as you'll no doubt hear quite soon, a very energetic young woman. Mina.
Good evening, everyone. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Nice, lots of thumbs up, perfect. So my name is Mina, and I'm the student body president at Cameron Heights Collegiate Institute. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a little audience participation. You don't have to move. I know this is a formal setting, but we're gonna try this the kid way. So if you're here, we're gonna split you guys all down the middle. If you're on this side, you're ooh. If I point to you, you're gonna go ooh, so let's practice. Oh. That was so good. If you're on this side, you're ah. So ready? Practice. Ah. Oh, incredible. Okay, I'm going to say something, and if I point to your side, remember, ooh, ah. Can we try?
Ooh, ah.
Oh, heck yes. Nice. All right. Okay. Barry. You got to be a little bit faster. Okay, let's try. Dave Schneider. Nice. Okay. Now, you guys might be thinking to yourselves, what was that? Why is she doing this in such a formal kind of setting? I see you're giggling here. Yeah. And some of you might have been a little bit uncomfortable by this. I get that. Not everyone here wants to participate in an ooh-ah activity, especially in a formal setting. But what I'm here to talk about today is diversity. And sometimes diversity makes us a little uncomfortable. Sometimes it can be a little new, it can be a little foreign. We have no idea what's happening. Different perspectives? What the heck does that even mean? We live in our own minds, we live in our own worlds. We see the world through the way that we grew up. And the importance of diversity in this community and the importance of diversity in a place that's so vibrant and full of life is that we need to always be carrying forward a sense of greater things, something bigger. And that starts with being uncomfortable. So if you were uncomfortable in this activity, or if you were having fun, that's perfectly normal. As Barry and his team here of beautiful people embark on this new journey this year, I wish them all the best. And I know that Barry is going to be working really hard to reflect upon diversity in this community, in this city, and within, just this room alone. We see so many people here that have so many different experiences, that have so many different backgrounds. And when we all come together, we can create a beautiful little chorus of ooh and ahs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Colleagues as well. Father Dan.
Thanks, Barry. Very privileged to offer my reflection as Barry begins his second term as Mayor of Kitchener. As he said, Barry and I are personal friends and former classmates of the old St. Jerome's High School, which was across the street. Throughout our years there as students, we were very blessed with the inspiring leadership of the priests and brothers of the Congregation of the Resurrection. It was their sacrifice of their own ambitions, their own status, their own time, that the gifts and talents of the students that they were called to serve were nurtured. Barry, your call to leadership as mayor of the city of Kitchener is built and founded on these men and many others who have modeled for you the gifts of sacrifice, dedication, compassion, and love for those that you are now called to serve. All those whom you followed founded their lives on God made flesh, Jesus, our Savior. In the Gospel of Mark, a blind man, Bartimaeus, who was one in the society that reflected the most suffering, the most vulnerable, the most forgotten, the most neglected, came to Jesus asking for his help, healing, a sense of belonging, a sense of dignity. Jesus responded by saying, "What do you want me to do for you?" Barry, you were anointed as prophet at your baptism, a sharer in the prophetic vision of Jesus. May you reflect during the next 4 years on the question, who are those among us who now represent this blind man, Bartimaeus, who today now you ask, what do you want me to do for you? And who are the blind, who are the most vulnerable, the most weak, and the most suffering among us? The homeless, those living in poverty, the unemployed, the disabled, the elderly, the unborn, the addict, the abused, and the exploited. Our city has been greatly blessed with prophetic voices such as Joe and Steph Mancini, the Working Center, who have heard the cries of justice, who have sacrificed their time and resources, and have raised the awareness of all of us, of the vulnerable and the suffering. Barry, may you have the eyes and the heart to be attentive to these cries as you serve the citizens of Kitchener. And may Jesus, the great prophet, his love for his people, and all those who've modeled that for you, be a source of renewed strength for you.
Thank you very much, Father Dan. I'd now like to Council.
Thank you, Your Worship. As you can see, I'm all mic'd up for my next act in Come From Away, but you're not going to hear any song from me tonight, and I thought I'd do this from the circle here. We're going to have the same declaration for each of the mayor and councilors, and I would ask that when I hand you the declaration, you read it aloud. Go ahead and grab that pen, too. will you? I was meant to be up there, but I don't want to be there.
That's okay. I, Barry Verbanovic, have been elected to the office in the municipality of the city of Kitchener. I do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, and I will make this solemn promise and declaration, conscientiously believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Would you sign the declaration, please? Give me back my pen.
Okay. Deal.
One of the more senior members here is Councillor Gazzola. Would you read aloud the declaration, please?
I, John Gazzola,
Hold on.
having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 3 in the municipality of the City of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true to Queen Elizabeth II. And I make this promise, this solemn promise and declaration, conscientiously believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Will you sign it, please? Councillor Singh.
Yes, I, Paul Singh, have been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 6 in the municipality of City of Kitchener. Do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if I made under oath.
Councillor Davey. You have it.
Thank you. I, Scott Davey, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 1 in the municipality of the City of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you. Councillor Ioannidis.
I, Bill Ioannidis, have been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 7 in the municipality of City of Kitchener. Do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And I make the solemnly promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Councillor Johnson.
I, Margaret Johnston, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 8 in the municipality of the City of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Schneider.
Thank you. I, Dave Schneider, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 2 in the municipality of the City of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Councillor Chapman.
I, Debbie Chapman, have been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 9. What's wrong here?
I didn't write it.
In the municipality of the City of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Please sign it. Thank you. Councillor Johnson. Sorry, Marsh. There you go.
Thank you.
Threw me off my game.
I, Sarah Marsh, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 10 in the municipality of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Sign it, please. Thank you. Councillor Galloway-Seelock.
I, Kelly Galloway-Seelock, having been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 5 in the municipality of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Sign it, please.
Got a long name.
Councillor Michaud.
I, Christine Michaud, have been elected to the office of Councillor Ward 4 in the municipality of City of Kitchener, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Please sign it.
Do you want your pen back?
Yes. And now, before I introduce formally the mayor and members of council, there's one other job that I have to do, which I would have done earlier if I were at the podium. Your worship? Now he's a mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, your council and the mayor. Barry, I just want to say something. So, when I made reference to come from away before, you have to understand I only came from the North Ward, down by the river. And we don't have any songs down there. Our councillor, our ward councillor, too busy being a do-gooder. A good one, though, you know. You don't think you're going to get away without some Irish blessing here from me. And I would just say this. May the roof of this place never fall in, and the 11 of you never fall out. May you have the foresight to know where you're going, the hindsight to know where you've been, and the insight to know when you're going too far. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We don't need any more accidents. I've had a few this year. Certainly, it's always a pleasure to have you join us for, I think you've been coming since Mayor Zare's inaugurations, and so it's great to have you continue in this tradition and always bestow a unique Irish blessing to us each and every term.
And it's the last you'll get because I'm on my way out.
Well, with that, we'll turn to a musical selection, and we're privileged for both the entrance this evening and for this musical selection to be joined by the KW Symphony Youth Orchestra. And if I can ask one of you to maybe come up to the microphone and introduce what you're going to be playing, or both of you.
Hi, I'm Ellen Arrigo. And I'm Brooke Grigby, and tonight we're going to be playing Carol of the Bells, followed by Organ Sonata in D by Mozart.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, jumping the gun here. The clerks are starting to get worried. I'll now call the
Yes, it's been moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Sarah Marsh that the report of the striking committee of this date be adopted as amended.
All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Now I move on. Well, good evening, everyone. Your Excellency, Ambassador Matkovich, Consul General Yavor, Regional Chair Redmond, and Regional Councillors, former Mayors Zaire and Christie, former members of Kitchener Council, Fire Chief John Rehill, members of the City of Kitchener Public Service, honored guests. Good evening and welcome to the inaugural Council meeting for the 2018-2022 City Council. On behalf of members of Council and myself, I'd like to thank you for joining us for this special occasion as a new Council for the City of Kitchener takes office. On October 22nd, Kitchener residents made an important decision. They exercised their democratic right to vote and decided which elected officials would represent them in their municipal government. The elected officials sworn in today will guide our city for the next 4 years, advancing community priorities that will make Kitchener a great place for everyone to live, work, and play. It is an honor and a privilege to be sworn in this evening as your returning mayor and to again find myself in a position to lead council as we work together to build a better Kitchener, a city for everyone. When we come together as a government, as a people, and as a community, our vision for a more caring Kitchener comes into focus. Kitchener citizens have placed their trust in us to lead the continued development of our city as an innovative, caring, and vibrant community. As I look at my new council colleagues, I'm confident that together we will build on the success of our outgoing council, championing a vision for a Kitchener that is defined by its strong neighborhoods, safe communities, growing economy, and inclusive culture. The one thing we all share, regardless of the ward we represent or the path we've taken to pursue this important role in public service, is a passion for our city and a belief in its people. To our newly elected members of council, Christine Michaud, Margaret Johnson, and Debbie Chapman, welcome. I look forward to working with you on issues I know you are passionate about. Building more connected neighborhoods, increasing resident participation in decision-making, and prioritizing positive, collaborative change. With 7 of our city councillors returning to office, I'm pleased to welcome back Scott Davey, Dave Schneider, John Gazzola, Kelly Galloway-Seelock, Paul Singh, Bill Ioannidis, and Sarah Marsh. I look forward to continuing our work together to provide creative solutions that will create stronger neighborhoods and help grow our economy. The election of this group of 10 women and men also marks a moment in history for Kitchener City Council. It is the first time that we have a gender-balanced municipal council made up of 5 women and 5 men. Just last month, our national organization, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, launched a new program called Towards Parity. The objective was to create a movement to support women in overcoming systemic and other barriers so one day we would reach gender parity. Well, in the City of Kitchener, it's 2018, and we've already done that. I'm extremely proud of our community and the opportunity to be working with this dynamic and dedicated group. I'd also like to take this opportunity to express my sincerest thanks and gratitude to those whose active role on our council has ended. Yvonne Fernandez, Ziganetsky, and Frank Etherington. Thank you for your time and for your service. Today, we look back on our accomplishments and celebrate our moments of achievement. In doing so, I hope you look back fondly on our years together and on our many collaborative efforts to help our city and its people achieve great things. Finally, I'd also like to acknowledge and express my appreciation to all the candidates who ran in this year's municipal election. Your passion for our city is demonstrated by your willingness to serve its people. Thank you for being such an important part of our democratic process. For all of us in public life, none of what we do or try to do would be possible without the love, understanding, and support of our supporters, our friends, and most of all, our families. I consider myself to be blessed to have my 90-year-old mother here tonight, my cousin and her husband, my godparents, and numerous friends and supporters. To all of you, and to everyone here supporting each member of this council, a heartfelt thank you. You all share in the sacrifices we make in order to serve. Tonight, we honor those of you who are here with us, and we also remember in our hearts those who have gone before us and can't be here with us tonight. I must admit, as I addressed this council chamber again, now as your returning mayor, I share the same feeling of anticipation and enthusiasm to lead our city as I did when I first took office. Excited for the future of this city, humbled to be an agent of change, and grateful for the trust placed in me by Kitchener citizens. I can truly say that it has been an honor and a profoundly rewarding experience to serve as your mayor. I've always enjoyed meeting and connecting with Kitchener residents. During my 2014 campaign, it was both energizing and motivating to knock on doors and speak with citizens face to face to learn more about their hopes and visions for our city. I think back to a young woman that I met when I visited the Chicopee neighborhood who was excited to be voting for the very first time. She was part of our COPS program, a program that I had started as a city councillor. And she understood that the government that she would help elect could bring about positive changes in her neighborhood, and with that knowledge, she cast her ballot. Residents like the young woman I just described remind me of the importance of public service and the significant role it plays in the everyday life of our citizens. It has been my privilege to be a lifelong public servant, both as a staff and in an elected capacity. Together with my colleagues on council, I had the tremendous opportunity to shape the future of this city during the past term. I feel a great sense of pride in what we've been able to accomplish together during the past 4 years. It's hard to believe that in such a short period of time, we launched our award-winning Love My Hood neighborhood strategy. This resident-led, city-supported initiative empowered residents by giving them the resources and guidance they need to do great things in their neighborhoods. We spoke to thousands of residents whose voices and perspectives are reflected in numerous initiatives, building great places and encouraging more connected people and working together to achieve a desired aim. Involving residents in the decision-making process has allowed us to make great strides towards building a Kitchener that better reflects the needs of all of its citizens. In 2018, we conducted a community survey to capture an objective citizen perspective on residents' priorities for the future. I'm proud to say that 87% of Kitchener residents view their quality of life in our city as good or excellent. Our many parks and green spaces, our strong sense of community, and the wide range of programs and services makes our city an attractive, welcoming, and inclusive place to live. Through tools like the Environic Survey and our own Engage Kitchener platform, public meetings and charrettes,
we actively seek out the thoughts and opinions of those we serve. As a council, we place tremendous value on hearing from, but more importantly, listening to our citizens. We should take great pride in the work we've done to inspire progress that makes meaningful change in our neighborhoods and in the everyday lives of citizens. In launching our participatory budgeting pilot project, we involved residents in updating parks located in the Sandhills and Elmsdales communities. We engaged with citizens to gather ideas, develop concepts, and make decisions to update these neighborhood parks to ensure they serve the growing needs of the people and families who live there. When we empower our residents to play an active role in our decisions, we create opportunities for them to be heard, to contribute, and to feel represented, and we eliminate the barriers that hold back our communities, stunt their growth, and stifle progress. Moving Kitchener forward means creating continued opportunities for the people of this city to thrive. Council delivered on this mandate by paving the way for our economy to grow. Through our award-winning economic development strategy, Make It Kitchener, we've situated our city as the best place in Canada for innovators, entrepreneurs, and other businesses to start and expand. We've worked collaboratively with the City of Toronto to launch the Toronto-Waterloo Region Innovation Corridor, bringing along other municipal partners in places like Guelph and Halton Region along the way. And we've also worked to support our large-scale legacy companies in the community while also ensuring that our small business cluster continues to thrive. We have and will continue to balance the tremendous growth of our city while still maintaining its culture, its character, and its small town feel. In reflecting on the accomplishments of the past, we look toward the future with a renewed sense of purpose and knowing there's still more work to do. Tonight, a new council joins me as we continue on our path towards progress. Reflecting on the steps we've already taken and mindful of the road in front of us, I look forward to our journey together. Like any great journey, ours will begin with charting our course for the next 4 years. Together, we will develop a new strategic plan that will map out the community's priorities for the coming term. Steadfast in our determination to do what is best for our city, we will bring about positive changes and creative solutions to create a diverse, vibrant, and caring community where every citizen can feel that they belong. Building on the strengths of our Love My Hood strategy, we will expand the Neighborhood Action Program to include more neighborhoods across the city and allow for additional neighborhood liaison supports to service communities that need them the most. Continuing to make Kitchener an innovative, caring, and vibrant city for residents to live, work, and play involves learning about what they value most. We will continue our practice of engaging residents in the decision-making process, providing them with outlets to inform this council on issues and services that matter to them and affect their daily lives. Public consultation has already begun to review our leisure facilities master plan, allowing residents a platform to speak on their physical activity preferences so we can determine how to invest in our city's leisure assets to meet their growing and changing needs. We understand that supporting our citizens also means paving the way for them to lead healthy, active lifestyles. By designing and implementing initiatives to encourage and promote physical activity, regardless of age or ability, from our youngest to our oldest residents, we enrich the lives of our citizens and provide them with greater opportunities to stay healthy and enjoy a full life in our city. Over the coming term, we will demonstrate that our communities recognize the value of intergenerational connections by launching a Grandparents' Day initiative. As a child, I benefited greatly from the relationships I shared with older adults in my community. Being a 5-year-old who was new to Canada and without any relatives in this country, I look forward to my interactions with Dorothy and Vernon Smith, an older couple who were our neighbors at the time. So much so that with the help of my kindergarten teacher, I would ask the couple to sign an adoption contract of sort that I drafted, declaring them my artificial grandma and grandpa for the next 5 years. While this document was far from being legally binding, What it represented carried great meaning for me as a child. It spoke to an influential relationship from which I learned a great deal. A lot can be achieved in nurturing intergenerational relationships, and in putting this initiative forward, I hope the positive experience I benefited from as a child will be shared in neighborhoods across our city. In the spirit of open public discussion and transparency, our city will lead on issues such as climate change and in areas like customer service. Helpful, caring, and proactive in our customer service strategy, we will continue with this approach to build strong relationships with our residents and provide them with the best possible experience. In the coming term, we will focus on establishing a single user-first focused website, giving residents easy access to a wide range of services. From leaf collection dates to property tax information, this platform will allow for a seamless customer service experience. Providing excellent customer service also involves ensuring the safety of our pedestrians, our cyclists, and our drivers. Increasing our focus on traffic safety will be a priority for this new council, especially as our city moves in the direction of a more sustainable future. No parent should have to worry about the safety of his or her child walking home from school or playing on a neighborhood street, and members of the public should feel confident biking to work. Working closely with the Region of Waterloo, we will aim to build a minimum grid of protected bike lanes and investigate the possibility of reducing speed limits on our neighborhood streets. Lobbying the province to allow cameras to regulate speeding on regional roads and school zones will also be a necessary component of improving traffic safety in the community. And improving sidewalk snow clearing and pedestrian connections to transit stops will provide an ease of access for all residents traveling within our city. Safe and effective transportation should also include expanding the reach of our people so each member of our community, regardless of their age or income status, can benefit. Public transit should be accessible to all, including older adults and those on a fixed income. Improvements to public transportation through innovation along the Toronto-Waterloo Region Innovation Corridor will increase accessibility for our residents, eliminating barriers and creating greater opportunities to live, work, and play in our city and beyond. I will continue to be an advocate working with our partners locally, provincially, and federally to continue this work. Through thoughtful development of our city, this council will prioritize the needs of residents and their families by encouraging the development of the full spectrum of affordability in new housing units in Kitchener and within the region. This process will involve considering properties for potential investment, recognizing that all Kitchener residents, regardless of their income status, are deserving of a safe place to live. We as a community must demonstrate a willingness to give support. We will take on a leadership role in environmental stewardship, focusing our attention on reducing our greenhouse gas emissions and developing a neighborhood-based Green Kitchener Fund, because we know that our responsibility to the planet involves being proactive in our commitment to a more sustainable future. This term, we will continue to advance our leadership position in the region on smart city initiatives that improve service delivery and cost effectiveness for our residents. We are an innovative city with a thriving technology sector that pushes the boundaries of what's possible both here at home and in cities all over the world. With continued support for strategies like Digital Kitchener, our people and businesses will stay more connected and remain at the forefront of innovation for generations to come. Through careful stewardship of tax dollars, we will continue to encourage and support growth and sustainability of our arts and creative sectors, recognizing that this investment will both enhance our residents' quality of life and be an integral step in growing our economy. Arts and culture contributes to the well-being of our city and serves as a powerful tool that can unite communities and act as a gateway for public discourse. Nurturing the arts in Kitchener will work to add vibrancy to our collective identity as a people and as a city. Building a caring city means advocating on behalf of the most vulnerable members of our community. Working with our regional and provincial partners, we will call attention to growing issues related to mental illness and addiction. With respect, understanding, and compassion for those confronting these issues in their daily lives, we will do our part to help ensure they have access to the services and resources they need to feel supported and to realize a better future. A caring Kitchener can only be achieved if the continuous growth of our communities benefits all citizens and if our neighborhoods allow for everyone to feel that they belong. Ensuring citizens feel a sense of belonging in our city and in their community holds great significance for me as your mayor, but also as an immigrant to this country. When I immigrated to Canada from Croatia almost 50 years ago, my family did their best to settle into a foreign place, surrounded by new people and confronted by a language barrier. My experience is a shared one, as our city is a rich mosaic of different cultures, ethnicities, and religions, a diverse people who have come to call Kitchener home. It's important that our government evolves alongside its residents and that our priorities and practices reflect the diversity of the people and the community we serve. This is where our strength as a city comes from. Early in 2019, I'll be launching a Mayor's Task Force on Diversity and Inclusion, where we will celebrate the many nuances of our people and continue to promote acceptance and belonging in our community. This initiative will ensure Kitchener is a city for everyone, one in which each citizen is welcomed by acceptance and understanding. And so, this new council must continue its work to build strong neighborhoods that are inclusive and representative of the collective. We will inspire thoughtful progress, supporting our city's growth in a measured manner to avoid gentrification. When we put forward new ideas to advance our neighborhoods, we will be careful to maintain everyone's place within them. We will manage tax dollars effectively and responsibly to ensure we create policies, strategies, and solutions that better the lives of all of our citizens and that help build community. With gratitude for this incredible opportunity and with a clear vision for the future of the city, we will continue our work to serve the residents of Kitchener. We have been given a mandate to better our city and to lay the groundwork for the Kitchener of tomorrow. Citizens have placed their trust in us to make decisions on their behalf and with their needs and aspirations in mind. We will do what is right and what is best for them, always. As a new council, we are united by the same goal and shared purpose, a caring Kitchener for all. We will not lose sight of this mandate, and it will motivate all the work we do because we know it matters. It matters to each and every citizen that our city feels like home and provides opportunity. It matters that we are a government that serves its people in a way that recognizes and understands their needs. I look forward to collaborating with this new council with trust and respect. We will pursue our shared passions, recognizing that good governance is not about unanimous agreement. It's about respectful, open, and productive discourse in the pursuit of common ground. In my last inauguration speech, I reference a plaque that hangs in my office. It reads, "Successful is the person who lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who gained the respect of children, who leaves the world better than they found it, who has never lacked appreciation for the earth's beauty, who never fails to look for the best in others or give the best of themselves." I find these words to be as inspiring today as they were 4 years ago. I have seen the resilience, the passion, and the determination of our people and of this city government. We will challenge ourselves to realize our city's potential, to push the limits of even our own expectations to achieve great things. Positioning our city as a leader in innovation and customer service, Kitchener will continue to grow, develop, and progress, as will its people. Today, we begin this work, remembering that our vision for a caring Kitchener is best achieved together. And so, our work begins. We embark on this 4-year journey, each of us with the belief that Kitchener is and will continue to be one of Canada's most innovative and vibrant cities. Together, we walk in the direction of progress to create a more prosperous city, a welcoming city, a city for everyone. Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to
that leave be given the mover and seconder to introduce the following bylaws for 3 readings, and that the same be taken as read a first, second, and third time, be finally passed and numbered serially by the clerk. A, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2014-135 respecting the appointment of an acting mayor, and B, to confirm all actions and proceedings of the council.
All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried unanimously. I'd now like to You have a motion to bring forward.
Yes, thank you. It's been moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Margaret Johnson that this inaugural meeting of City Council be adjourned.
All those in favor? Opposed? And that too is carried. This meeting is